Hello once again and welcome back to the Monch Hours Podcast. I'm your host John and I'm here with my good friend, great friend.
Good and great.
You know, it changes every week depending on how I feel. And co-host.
Oh, that's me, Jordan. The good, great, let me add amazing friend.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, he's throwing on his own flavor. Okay, it's about time.
A little spice. Wow, about time. Throwing salt in that spice, huh?
Again, I'm actually spicy today, but we'll touch into that a little more. What I want to touch base on real quick though is today's episode we're gonna be talking about gatekeeping in anime, and then we're gonna hit our recaps for Champloo, No Guns Life, and Chainsaw Man, plus other shows we've been watching. So it should be relatively on the shorter end, hopefully, maybe less than an hour aiming for instead of an hour 20, hour 30 like our previous episodes have been. But anyway, stay tuned, and with that we'll crack a cold one and cue the intro.
Welcome to the Monch Hours Podcast, where we consume manga and anime with pleasure. Crack a cold one and enjoy the show.
I hope we can finally fight without any distractions now.
How do you know the Muju style?
Fate is a fascinating thing. The Muju style would be something that I alone am the master of. There's no escaping that it's your destiny to die by my hand.
Since it is destined, I'd like to see what the hand of God is all about.
Gladly. I've been sitting idle now for far longer than I would have liked.
I'm not going there to die. I'm going to find out if I'm really alive. I have to do it, Faye.
It's all a dream.
Yeah. Just a dream.
And we're back. Jay, what are you sipping on this week on this Friday?
Doubled back to the Haleakala Sunrise again. I had that a few weeks ago. It's nice, tasty. Got that barrel-aged IPA freshness.
Okay.
It's delicious.
Good. Sounds good.
It's fucking good, bro.
All right.
What about you, bro? What are you sipping on over there?
Well, dude, as you may have heard, we're recording on a Friday, so not on our usual Sundays because someone got lost in a jungle on Sunday. But
yeah, why'd you do that, bro? Why'd you get lost?
Yeah, I got lost in the sauce. I got lost in the California jungles. It's currently on fire. Anyways, it's Friday, so I'm doing something different. Actually drinking the whiskey and Coke today.
Can't go wrong with that. What kind of whiskey are you going with?
Just doing a classic Jim Beam honey.
There you go.
I almost reached for the maker's mark, but you and I both know what happens when I get a hold of that. So trying to stay on 2 feet tonight.
Oh, Dad, fucking taking it
But I doubled
easy,
down.
huh?
I made it a tall, so we're good for the most part.
How's the honey with it? I've never done a gin and honey with the Coke, the cola.
Dude, chef's kiss, man. Because like the sweetness kind of like agglomerates together. I'm getting scientific with it.
Is that a word?
It's like a catalyst. Agglomeration? Am I saying it right?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard that word.
Did I just make that up on the spot?
I think you did. Fuck.
Agglomeration. No. Acclamation. Agglomeration. Agglomerate. Agglomerate.
Oh. Well.
Collect or form into a mass or group.
Dude,
An amalgamation. I think I'm saying it wrong, but
amalgamation.
Dude, wait, that's the word.
An amalgamation. What did you say? Amalgamation? Damn.
Wait, I just said, damn. I'm already feeling it, I guess. Whoops. Well, that's the podcast, everybody. So we should be in for a good one tonight.
Hey, no one said we're fucking English majors over here.
What'd you say?
Amalgamation.
Amalgamation. Are you sure?
I don't know, man. I'm not looking at the internet like you.
Yeah, you are right. Amalgamation. What the hell did I say? Agglamate? What's the word of the night?
Amalgamate.
Amalgamate. Okay. Anyways, that's what I'm drinking, and obviously it's got quite a punch.
Yeah, obviously.
But yeah, so tell us, man, how'd you get lost on? Give us the rundown, maybe like a short snap summary of what exactly happened on Sunday.
All right, so, I mean, if you ever been to Hawaii, the jungle is pretty fucking dense. So we were looking for this hike. I don't know if we even were on the right trail, but you're like you're going towards like the west side of the island. You're driving along the coast, and you're on like cliffs. Like you're elevated. So we like pulled off. We saw kind of like an entrance, like a break in the fence. So we're like, maybe that's it. And there's no signs or anything. Like all the trails are marked by mile markers.
Okay.
And we didn't see the mile marker, but like we had seen like a few before, so we kind of like guesstimated.
Right.
And I like pulled off the road, parked. We had seen like a few other cars like on the side of the road, so we're like, this might be the right spot. And then we like kind of started going in, started at a creek, and like went off into the jungle. And there's kind of like looked like a worn path, so we just kept going along. And then we crossed over the river, and that's where we fucked up.
Damn, you crossed the bridge of Terabithia, man.
Yeah, dude. So like we went across the river, and we're like, okay. We walked for a little bit, and then we're like, this isn't good. Like, so then we like tried to double back and walk like back across the river. Like, well, if we came across this river, like if we go back, we'll find like where we were. But that didn't work. Then we ended up in like a bamboo thicket that looked like it was straight up like haunted. Like we were about to get isekai'd somewhere. And
damn.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for that. Like that was low key my dream, but obviously it didn't happen. So it was kind of a sad boy. But yeah, so yeah, we just ended up like wandering around for like 4 hours, but we ended up finding like this dope waterfall with a like a pool at the bottom that you could swim on. And obviously some people had been back there because there was like a rope like tied that went up the waterfall, so you could like kind of climb it, which I didn't because I was like kind of sketched out by it. And yeah, but it was an interesting day. I would have probably been tripping if it had been later in the day and we had been lost that long, but it was like 4 hours, but it was like 4 o'clock when we finally stumbled out of there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least I'm glad you made it out. I know you texted me and you're like, no, I can still record. And I was like, dude, no, you need to like hydrate or you're going to be tired or whatever.
Yeah. Well, dude, like we got the light version. I don't know if you heard, like it was last year. There is a big news story of this woman on Maui who got lost in the jungle and legit was out there for a month. Like just wandering. What? Yeah. Like she was lost in the jungle for a month. Like that's how like insane it is.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's like that's so crazy. Like there's so much vegetation, like fruits, just wild like fruit trees. Like you're just able to survive off that. But or at least she was. I mean, I was only out there for 4 hours, but I felt like I was about to starve. But yeah, like it's crazy.
Well, I'm glad you made it safe, you and your girl. So that's good. It's good. Now you had an experience. Now you had your own Bear Grylls official life experience. But that would have been a cool isekai. But I'm just a weeaboo podcast host, but now into something. You know, the titles are so long.
Yeah. Just an anime podcast host, but now I'm in a tropical jungle fantasy world.
Yeah, with my girlfriend, with my wife.
Yeah.
But speaking of isekai, well, I don't guess. Well, yeah. Speaking of isekai, we got the ReZero episodes, but we'll touch base into that a little bit later after our theme, which, as I mentioned earlier, is gatekeeping. We'll be talking just a little bit on that. I think I've been seeing it being kind of prevalent recently. So I mean, we've touched base about it in the past in our episodes, but not like really made it a point to like really talk about it. But essentially, gatekeeping, for those that don't know or hear that term, is like if it's pretty much like someone is giving you a barrier of entry or putting up certain stipulations before you can enjoy a certain art or medium. For example, it would be like, oh, you say you watch anime, and then someone would be like, oh, nice, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, yeah, I watch it in dub. And then they go, oh, you're not a real anime fan then. Or like, oh, you watch anime? Name something else other than blah, blah, blah. So they're keeping you, they're in front of the gate from enjoying anime, or like putting like these, I mentioned like these stipulations. If that doesn't make sense, another one would be like, Death Grips, the music band Death Grips. Oh, I really like Death Grips. And someone would say, oh, name any other song other than Guillotine. Or vice versa, whatever artist. And hopefully the pictures is clear, but that's essentially what gatekeeping is. And that's not just for animes, for like any type of art, game, any type of medium that is out there that people enjoy. It's unfortunate that we as a, I guess a society maybe, or we as, people have got to a certain point where we feel like if we enjoy something, we have to almost feel like we're knowledgeable about the fact to, just in case someone were to question us. I know sometimes I feel that way. But nonetheless, I think it's become much more prevalent in anime, in the scene that I've seen right now. I think it's always been there, but I've just noticed, or maybe I've been hyper aware. So Jay, I just kind of want to throw it to you. I know you're now on the anime Twitter, anti-tweet side of the world. So, but have you had any experience recently or in the past with that? Maybe not just anime, but anything else in general of the gatekeeping sense?
Never really like in the anime sense, but I know for a fact, like 100%, like every time I've walked into a new comic book store, like it's been, you have to prove yourself. Like these, I don't want to say. Actually, I do. Like, I feel like that community. A lot of people they're protective of it, right, of the medium, and I mean, it is kind of at a point in society where, like, being like a superhero fan or comic book fan, that's cool now. Where for years it wasn't. Like, it was just like anime manga, you were kind of ostracized, and you could be like picked on a bully for being a fan of that. So I can understand like where, like if I were to come in and like say that I'm a fan, and like people could be like protective of it. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is this being protective of this art, because anime, like we're seeing a lot of, you got a lot of the graphic tees now in like PacSun. It's becoming popularized with just normal people. Right. So I see that as being like, people are just
riding the wave.
Yeah, there are some, but that doesn't take it away. Like if you like one anime, you shouldn't be, picked on, like, questioned for just liking one. Say you just like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and you have a T, like, okay, you're still an anime fan technically. Like no one should be able to question that. Right.
100%. Everyone's got to start somewhere, and while I do agree that there are those that are just like riding the wave, the trend, you could, the same people that are like, oh, you still watch anime, why don't you crawl out your mom's basement, have like, they search up aesthetic Sailor Moon avatar pictures and use that as like their their profile picture or whatever. It's the same people. So there's that bunch. But it's like what you mentioned though, if someone is getting into the first time and they starting to like really like it, and the last thing I want to happen is for someone to question them and then potentially alienate them from entering into this world. Because I feel like, especially we're growing up, as you mentioned, like as we've mentioned previously in the past, there was that stigma, and there's always in the back of our minds like, oh man, if only like this was, if more people were into this, they could see how cool anime is and manga is. And now we're at that point, but then there's like the balance of, okay, now we are in the space of where it is cool, like you said, it isn't PacSun, it's not just a hot topic anymore. You got Kanye West tweeting about Akira, you have fucking Kim Kardashian putting a picture of 02 saying hair inspiration, and it's just like, whoa, what kind of world are we in? But it's cool. And you have these people who you can question, like, I don't know, Kanye is Kanye. I won't question him. He's Kanye. He's an amazing artist, and in terms of creative direction, you can't compare him. But Kim Kardashian, sometimes you're like, did she just throw that up there? And that's based on other that's just the Kardashians. You got to question what they do.
Yeah.
But then you have Michael B. Jordan, who's like a legit anime fan. And, like, he's constantly tweeting about like Naruto, and I think he says it funny though. But I digress. It doesn't matter how you say things. Like, imagine us pronouncing all the millions of names in the anime world. But Michael B. Jordan has like constantly proved himself, and or not prove himself, but he's a true fan. So it's like, I'm happy to see, especially celebrities, because everyone knows celebrities could be someone's idol or people that they look up to. So if they see this happening, they can be like, oh, I've always wanted to get into anime, but I don't know where to start. And then this guy tweets about this, maybe I'll start with that. And then as all things happen, they open up into a world of amazing stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, I have seen that, like, recently there's a lot of celebrities who are kind of showing that side of them. Like, they probably always been, anime fans, or maybe they haven't, I don't know, I'm not them, but, it's cool, like, you're seeing, like, another side to people where even, like, they were probably at one point, like, nervous to say that they were a fan of,
oh, for sure,
anime or whatever, and it's just cool to see, like, it's at that point where, like, people are, like, comfortable, like, saying, no, I like anime. But then, like, coming back to gatekeeping, like, that's where a lot of, like, longtime fans are probably like, oh yeah, I'm sure you are, you know, and that's where it can quickly turn toxic, because you get extremely toxic. You get a person who says that to you, and I don't know, like, how you'd feel, but I know if someone came at me and, like, we're like, oh yeah, I'm sure you're an anime fan, and then I'm like, actually, my whole life I have been, like, you'd feel like you're feeling attacked, because you basically are attacked.
Oh,
like,
sure.
That's part of your identity. If it's been
your character, it's like a building block of yourself is being attacked, and now you're being forced to prove yourself when you really shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why, like, I kind of have like I'm not sure if you have this, but I mean, no, I'm sure you heard of it, the My Anime List website.
Yeah.
Like, people rank, they put all their animes in there. And it's, I've seen this, and this. This is everything I've seen. I personally, I said my mic. I personally don't do that, and my feelings are kind of what you mentioned. It's like, why should I? To me, that's a site of self-validation or group validation, and it's like, oh, this is validating that I'm a fan.
Yeah. And
it's like, unfortunately, like, so much of our current world, and, like, especially social media, is all about validation, and validation is so important that if it takes a lot for someone to break away from that terms of, I'm not a real person, I'm not happy with myself if I'm not validated by other people, when it should be the only validation you seek is your own personal validation. So when I see stuff like My Anime List, and for everyone that uses it, this is much my opinion. I'm not attacking you. This is just my personal take on it. I don't want to do that. I mean, it would be nice to, I think at first when I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta do that just so I remember things, 'cause I have a really shitty memory anyways. But then I saw people, like, posting it online, and then I saw, like, kind of like inside jokes, like, oh, if you're an anime fan, then, like, you better have more than 100 blah 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 on your anime list, when it's whatever. And to me, immediately that was like, okay, this is just inviting that kind of mentality, and I wouldn't be a part of that.
Yeah, I've seen that on Twitter a lot, like, people put their top 10 favorite characters or best boys or just favorite shows, and, like, I see it a lot with people putting their top 10 favorite shows and just putting it out there, like, that's all the context. And then you see in the thread, people are like, your tastes are shit. Like, just instant, like, attack, which, that's not fair. You can't attack someone for their tastes, Like, that's attack. That's like attacking someone for the way they dress, or, anything. It's stupid. That's all it is just dumb.
It's toxic. Yeah, you mentioned it's toxic, and, they do, especially, like, you've seen, like, hey, I'm new to anime Twitter, these are, like, my current favorite shows. blah blah, and they put themselves out there, and that's super awesome. Like that's really cool. You know, in that retrospect, that's I think an awesome way to connect with people, especially me when I see that and I see someone throw out there, because I see like so much. Oh, my favorite shows are Haikyuu, Demon Slayer, blah blah blah. You know, really modern time things, which is awesome because you know I'm a huge Demon Slayer fan. But then I see people like our age group, and I can tell when it is like that sometimes because they'll say Inuyasha or Yu Yu Hakusho or even like Trigun, and it seeing that is a good connection point for I think if you're looking for what they call mutuals. And so it's really cool seeing that. And then, but as you mentioned, when someone attacks someone for the taste, then it's like, what are we getting at here? You know, it's like this is supposed to be a spot. And I'm mentioning space. You know, the term space is used, but like this space of Twitter is supposedly like all the time. Oh, it's so friendly and kind here, blah blah blah. But you know, there's that nasty side of it where that does show up. And a lot of the times, as we mentioned, like we banter and we like. Unfortunately, Black Clover is the butt. Is like the butt of our jokes, of everyone's jokes. But as much as we make, I'm not going to say you have shit taste. Like Black Clover, I love the character design. I love the story. It just, the usual suspect is the yelling, and that's just my personal. But, if you can put up with it, that's awesome. I can't, unfortunately. And I like Black Clover. Like I legit want to read the manga just so I can still be a part of that kind of fandom and see what it's all about. But when you get the toxicity on like that, it's really sad. And especially, like I want to kind of like give like a warning to people out there, especially the younger ones in that space, because unfortunately there's like 16-year-olds in there, high schoolers, even elementary schoolers. And there is like a lot of the times you see like GC, which stands for group chats. And that's like pretty much what it is. Like it's like a group of people, and they all have their own, DMs, their own message. And a lot of the times it gets really cliquey. And if you join in that in hopes of having a sense of accommodation or a sense of wanting to be a part of people, that could be used against you, and then it may not be exactly what you're looking for. So if you join those group chats, just make sure you kind of vet the people in there first before you say personal information or divulge too much of yourself, because that could be used against you. I've seen it happen. I've seen tweets of people joining group chats and they get, attacked, the toxicity, and they have to leave anime, that space, and maybe join in another account or whatever. So that's the last thing we want. And that's, again, like it falls into the gatekeeping, because that's just a closed environment. It's not in the public where you can be attacked and no one can step up and save you or just say that's not right. Like if I saw that in like Twitter on my tweets, and I'm like, yo, just chill the fuck out. What are you doing? Like this person might just be getting into this. It's like you have no right to say, you're shit or you're not a real anime fan.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's crazy. It's crazy. And as you can tell, when it comes to gatekeeping, I'm not a fan of it whatsoever in any form or aspect.
No. Yeah. Like going on that, like I kind of, it's like you're able to on Twitter, for example, it sucks, but everyone, for the most part, I'd say like 98% of people are using anime profile pics. So you're able to hide behind that.
Yeah. And
like that's a sense of security. That's like a blanket that you can say whatever you want. But at the end of the day, like you might be looking at a character from, Demon Slayer, for example, or whatever this person has as their picture. But ultimately it's the person that's looking at that and ingesting whatever you say to them. So you have to keep that in mind. Like it's not just you're not just speaking to a wall. And it's kind of, I had my day one on anime Twitter, I had a Zaku as my picture, and I changed it. I was like, I'm just gonna put my own picture. Like I can't. I'm 30 years old. I can't be having
dude? You're gatekeeping yourself, dude.
No, well, no, it was mostly because I wanted it to be like
relate.
I want to be like a real person. I want it like people to talk to me like I'm a character. I would rather it be you see me, then like you talk to someone different if you see that they're actually a human. You're not just saying like their whole anime side. You know what I mean?
I do. I think when I first it's funny that you actually mentioned that, because I kind of see it differently, honestly. Like I use anime pictures and manga pictures all the time. Like even in my Discord is a manga panel. It's from Sunken Rock actually, and I've always done that. And
Oh, you're a
I think
Sunken
the
Rock
term-
fan? How many chapters have you read?
30. Yeah. So,
Oh, well,
dude.
not a real fan.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. But I think you brought up a good point when it comes to the profile pictures. I can recognize that is somebody behind that, and that probably just comes with being in that, being exposed to that for a long time. But that said, you do sometimes see like a picture. It's weird, huh? Actually, now that I think about it, you do see a picture and you kind of automatically get a kind of vibe of that person, I guess, which could be ultimately super wrong. So that's actually interesting that you point that out. I can put, well, for us, we have the Monch Hours, the brand, so we use that logo. And I do have like a slight disconnect from it because I feel like there's the brand image. And sometimes I can't be exactly who I want to be. So I'm like waiting till we get more followers. I think at 200, we're at 100. We had like 180 right now. At 200 followers, I'll probably separate myself from the brand and use it as just the brand, but then come back into it with my own, personal handle that I've had on Twitter for a while. But I do get what you're saying, where some people might not recognize that's a human being behind that picture. The computer trenches.
Yep. So yeah, it's just something that like we need to, just as a whole, just be mindful of. There's always a person on the other end. Even like when
we
you're
touched base on this with the Whisker Away podcast too.
Yeah, that's true. We did double back. But yeah, I mean, like for us, I mean, we've kind of been, because we're also sports fans, we've kind of grown up with that. There's always gatekeeping in sports. So
oh god, it's the worst. I should have come with that first. Go ahead. Yeah.
So yeah, for years, like our whole life, like I know myself, I've always been a basketball fan, and me and you are both Lakers fans, so we picked a team that everyone hates except for Lakers fans. So like we know how it is to constantly be attacked and have to defend like your choice, or the fact that there's always bandwagon fans too. So it's the same, like a team gets hot and people jump on it, so then other fans who might not know you are like, oh, you're a Lakers fan, for how long? Like, so there's always gatekeeping. So I think we're lucky to grow up in a point that like it's always been a part of our lives, having to defend our fandom. And the fact that, I mean, anime hasn't always been at the forefront, and we're always having to talk about it because, there's been like a lot of times where we were closet fans because, how society might have reacted. Yeah. So, like, during those times where we weren't talking about anime, we were also talking about sports. And that kind of like toughened us up, and like we're able to articulate our defenses for like how to react in those situations.
We can bounce back and kind of clap back, I guess.
Yeah.
You grow up with it, you learn pretty quick.
Yeah, but just because we have that experience, that doesn't mean everyone has that. And now more people are online and putting themselves out there saying they're a fan of something, and then when they're encountered with gatekeeping, then it might frustrate them. They might not know how to react because sure, they might be a new fan, or they might even be a longtime fan, but they just might not have like those skills to like deal with that, and they might feel like their fandom isn't justified, or they're not air quotes real fan because someone else might have said that.
That's horrible. That's like one of the shittiest things you can do to somebody.
Yeah.
Especially if someone's struggling with finding, if they're in a rough spot in their life and they found like some joy, and happiness in anime, manga, and this happens to them, that's such a, like it just lead into waves of bad things from one simple, altercation.
Yeah. Ultimately, like as a community, we should be lifting each other up and be like, oh, you're a fan of Haikyuu, instead of like grilling them about it. Be like, have you ever watched, say, like another sports anime? Like kind of like throw something out there and ask them, like engage them in like a conversation, and like throw out recommendations that they might not have heard, instead of being like, oh, well, who's your favorite character? Are you like them? That's a shit character. Like, You know what I mean? We should...
Right. Instead of attacking each other, let's connect together.
Yeah. And
I'm putting that as a slogan now.
put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and I'll sell it.
Yeah.
Are you Monch Hours fans? When did he say this?
Well, Monch Hours fans, how many episodes have you watched? Or listened to?
When was the day, they first went on YouTube?
What day was that, actually?
Yeah.
'Cause I don't even know.
That
Tuesday?
was Tuesday. Monday.
Zero Tuesday?
Zero Tuesday, nah. Zero Tuesdays is a holy day every week, every day of the week. I pray to my Zero Tues. No, I'm just kidding.
The ones in your computer?
Yeah, and a skateboard right here, and stickers, and my jacket.
And your dreams?
She's the waifu, baby. the one. And yeah, God, dude. Speaking of attack, man, Darling the Fran, you get attacked for that shit all the fucking time. If you're a Darling the Franks fan, let's see, and notice how I just say Darling in the Frans, right? I got attacked for saying Darling in the Frans because I read it as Frankenstein forever. Like, oh, Darling in the Franks, it was Frank in my head. So I said Darling in the Frans, or Frans, and then someone's like, Darling in the Franks, bro? That's like, Jesus, fuck, okay. Just correct me.
Oh, dude.
That's like when I first started watching it. I'm like, damn, dude, what the fuck?
Dude, I gotta tell a little anecdote about you.
Oh, okay.
I know do you know where we're going with this? So, a few years ago, we were in Vegas for one of our buddies' bachelor parties.
Oh, motherfucker.
Now you know where we're going with this.
Go ahead. I don't give a shit.
So, Giancarlo here, he is a big...
Oh, you just doxed my full first name. Thanks, bro.
Oh, shit. Janari. Just erase what I said. But, yeah, he's a big David Guetta fan. Like, the biggest I know. And it's real. It's like, you can tell he actually loves the music and just connects with it and vibes and is this big fan. And we were going to a David Guetta show at one of the clubs in Vegas.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah.
And we're in line, and this random girl walks past, and she's like, "What's this line for?" And John, just being the nice guy he is, it's like, "Oh, it's a David Guetta show." And she just stops, stares at him, just deadpan, just like, "David Guetta? You mean Guetta?" And just walks away.
The hair flip and walk away.
I felt so bad, but of course we had to roast you, bro.
Bro, I was taking the roast all night, and I still came out on top, baby.
You did.
I was having a good time.
But yeah, that's a gatekeeping right there. Like, just because you say the name wrong, like, the fuck? Like, who cares?
Yeah. It's like, damn, God forbid.
Yeah.
God forbid you mispronounce a name that, like, people mispronounce. And maybe for me, like, oops, I always say my mic. People have mispronounced my name my whole life. So it's like, for me, it's like no big deal. It's like, oh, just a simple correction. It's like, oh, you probably don't know. Or maybe you're from a different heritage that says things differently.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you're like super cultured and it's Frankenstein. Dr. Frank, Soul Eater, so Darling in the Franz, baby. Not Franks. Even though Franks makes more sense. As soon as I heard it, I knew it was right. Doesn't matter. 02's the Bay. And I mean, there's obviously we have all our other handful of waifus, but
yeah.
I don't think I need. Do I have to prove myself right here? As I'm like looking at the ones in my case. Are you
do.
attacking my waifu taste?
Actually, yeah. Like, prove to me that you're actually a fan of 02. Show me evidence, physical evidence, besides the 2 statues that you have. And maybe in the past 4 years, show me maybe social media posts that you might have made that prove your fandom.
Dude, I got this tattoo of 02 on my lower back. I'm just kidding.
A 02 tramp stamp?
Yeah, it says "Darlings Only."
Shit.
Oh, fuck. All right. Anyways, all right. I think we pretty much covered gatekeeping there, at least our stance on the matter. And if you are a gatekeeper, chill the fuck out. Just relax and enjoy life. And if you've been attacked by gatekeeping and you feel like you reach out to someone, go ahead and hit us up. We got your backs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan's
like 6'7", so I was impressed with him.
6'7", but fucking can't find his way out of a jungle.
Dude, hey, at least you survived. That's all that matters, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you mentioned Bear Grylls. I didn't mention it before, but I got a new reality show coming out. Fucking Jordan in the Wild. And all I do is just hide behind a bush with a knife in my teeth. And
You
just
probably thought you were like the Sasquatch of Hawaii, dude.
the great white Sasquatch.
He's so pale. No, you're tan as fuck now out there. But
bro, I'm dark.
anyways, yeah. Yeah, you're fucking dark. You're island boy. How long does it take to be a local?
Your whole life.
Damn, gatekeep as soon as you move there.
Pretty much.
Shit. All right, let's jump into our recaps, my friend. Let's get into Samurai Champloo.
Champloo.
No, you know what? Switch it up. Let's go Chainsaw Man.
All right.
We'll go manga first.
Let's rev those engines.
Pochita and Denji.
Yeah.
So this week is chapters 40 to 50. If you want to take it away. I mean, I think what we've been doing lately, Jay, is we're not recapping, we're like retelling, and I think we should probably just kind of focus on like our favorite moments in this stuff or anything that stands out, because if people already read it, they probably like, yeah, I read this already.
That's true. Yeah.
Retelling the whole thing. We probably trim down some time there too. So any standout moments for you? And actually, that's so fucking hard because every chapter is a standout moment. I feel like Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I always lean to like comedic moments. And the first one in this chunk of chapters that got me was Reese, when she takes Denji to school because he's like, I'm 16, I've never been to school. And she's like, that's kind of fucked up, right? And he's like, maybe. And she takes him, and she's kind of playing like teacher and like holding up words. And she holds up the word balls, and Denji's like, I know that one, balls. And then she's like, you can read balls? He's like, it's the only word I can read.
Like, one I know.
Dude, that just had me like dying. I was like, of course, like as you read like the story, like that is the word he'd know.
Yeah, poor Denji, man. He's a little kid, so
is.
he doesn't know any better. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's hard. Every 10 feels like it just gets more and more hype.
Yeah.
We got more backstory and lore this time. So Reese obviously is the bomb devil, which is fucking nuts. Like, I just want Denji to have some sliver of happiness in his life, and she's the bomb devil, and it's like now she's just using him, even though it's like, I mean, I want to believe there was a connection there. But damn,
I think there was.
Bomb devil's dope as fuck. Yeah, I think so, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's go with there was. But yeah, dude, Bomb Devil fucking shit was tough.
Dude, when you posted that panel of kind of like when Reese's true colors shown, and she took out the other devil contractor.
Yeah, the skin peeler.
The skin peeler with her own like rear naked choke, and she was like Russian. It's like, damn, this is like some Russian like MK Ultra type shit.
Yeah. You mean KGB?
KGB, yeah. MK Ultra was USA, yeah.
Yeah.
I just couldn't think of KGB, so I had to like be quick tongue with it. But yeah, sick. Bomb Devil's sick as fuck. We got this cool fucking panel of, because there's a shark devil, right? Shark devil.
Yeah, Shark Devil. Yeah.
It's like, I guess, an underling of the Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Or like one of his fans, or like a partner in crime in hell, and so he like only listens to Denji, and like legit turns into a shark. And Denji's riding the shark in a hurricane, and it's like we have this like almost super meta Sharknado moment.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? But it works, and it's so sick.
Yeah, they're in the typhoon. They're fighting the typhoon demon.
Yeah.
Why was the typhoon demon? Why was it just like a baby face in like some clouds?
Oh yeah. I wonder if there's some type of like. I think we always talk about this where we want to like go research a bit about it to maybe see if there's some symbolism behind it.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe because like it's throwing a tantrum.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I wouldn't even thought of that. But yeah, like on that moment,
boy. Big brain.
Dude, I'm all small brain here. But in that moment where you spoke of, where he's riding the shark, like the shark demon was kind of like painting like a word picture for Denji. He's like, he's like, well, the chainsaw demon used to rev his blades and kind of use those hitting the ground to speed around. And, like, you can see it, like, you're like, oh, yeah, if you just, like, kind of put it on the ground, you could probably, like, launch yourself, kind of.
Yeah.
And then Denji's like, I've got it. And he just jumps on the back of the shark demon.
Use the blades as all hardness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
That's Denji, though. That's fucking Denji. Denji's a badass.
He is.
I mean, and that's not to take away of other awesome panels that we saw in there. Especially the little moments where Denji meets Riz in the first time. How cute is that? Like, it's raining outside and they both go into the phone booth and he's got a flower.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, man.
It's good stuff.
My boy Denji.
I like the moment where I can't remember what demon or fiend he is, but the guy who has, like, the plague doctor mask.
Oh, power? No, that's the violence demon.
Violence?
Isn't it just violence?
Is it? Might be. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But he shows up and saves Denji out of, like, one scenario during the fight. Yeah. And then he just instantly is like, all right, and retreats. Like, it was just in and out. Like, he was in there for, like, 3 panels.
Yeah. He's like, I'm done here.
Yeah.
He just tuxedo masked.
Yeah,
away.
He was like, she's too strong. I'm out.
Yeah, later. I know my limitations.
Yeah.
We got the Angel Demon. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, Angel
Interesting
Demon
how
just
that's
wants
going
to
to work
die.
out. Angel Demon, I kind of want to find out more about that.
Yeah.
And then, like, a spider demon, I think it was. It's pretty cool. And then, yeah, shark. And those are the 4 that we got introduced to. Wait, the violence, spider, angel, and the shark, yeah. And, of course, Typhoon and Riz, who, showed up in that classy suit and fucked everybody up.
Yeah. It's cool that we're getting... you're seeing... So there's, like, the Yakuza, but there's also, it looks like there's, like, a cabal of these demons who work under, like, the leadership of the gun demon.
Yeah, the gun devil.
Yeah, so there's kind of a
hierarchy.
Yeah, there's like a demon Yakuza going on too.
Yeah. It's almost like there's gonna be like certain because I think Shark mentions like he knew Chainsaw in Hell. So it's like like you mentioned, like there's maybe rival factions in Hell.
Yeah.
That are and so I'm so interested. I really want to get into this. It's really hard to not read past. It's like really fucking hard.
Yep, dude, I second that. Like, once I get to the cutoff point, I'm like, man, fuck this. I should.
We're close though.
I know we are. 2 more weeks and we'll be caught up.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's crazy.
It's gonna be good. Yeah, but yeah. So let's get. I think we're. Anything else for that, or are we good?
We good.
Okay, cool. Also, Chainsaw, or from manga. I caught up with My Hero. I went off this week, dude.
Damn.
I caught up with My Hero. And I was already kind of ahead of the game anyways. But holy... I just did not expect. That's all I'm going to say. Did not expect.
Yeah, just quiet your mouth.
And I started Kaiju number 8.
Oh, yeah, how's that? I saw you posted
dude, it's
about
really
that.
cool. I really like it. Yeah, it's only about like 7 or 5 chapters.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I really like that. Yeah, I think you should read it. You probably like it, even though we already got so much on our plate. But I liked it. I just started reading it one day, and I was like, "Damn, this is sick."
Yeah.
Burn the Witch is coming pretty soon. That's a Tite Kubo creation. Look forward to that.
Is that just a one shot or?
No, I think it's
gonna be a series. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's set in the Bleach world, right? Is that what I saw?
I was confused on that. I wasn't sure if it's set in that world or it was like inspired from it.
Yeah, from what I understood, it's set in it, but instead of dealing with hollows, it's dealing like more like mythical stuff.
Fuck yeah.
But it's still the same like Bleach world. There's still gonna be like Shinigami. There's gonna be. I'm assuming they'll probably like run into hollows here or there, but that's not gonna be the main crux of the story.
Well, I'm even more hyped. I'm just hyped for Tite Kubo shit.
Yeah. Oh, Tite Kubo fan? Didn't even know that that Burn the Witch was in the Bleach world. Huh. Real fan, huh?
Dude, alright. Well, guys, today's my last day on the podcast. Jordan's taking over now. And
finally.
Hopefully he'll won't get lost in the jungle again. So everybody, take care.
Oh,
I'm out.
Shit.
Okay. Anime. Samurai Champloo, let's get it.
All right.
We got 15 minutes. Get under the hour. Let's do under the hour this time.
All right, my favorite moment was in episode 16 where those like laborers are coming down the mountain and they're just freestyling as they're coming down, like approaching Mugen and the gang. And I just remember this what like stuck in my mind. One of their rhymes was, "Dude so handsome, all the bitches want to pants him."
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I paused the show and I was like, that doesn't even make like too much sense. Like, you want pants him? Like, you need to work on
his, you know what?
You need to work. I don't know. He needs to work on his bars though.
Bars, dude.
But
it reminds me of that scene reminded me of the rappers in Devilman Crybaby.
haven't watched that because I'm not a real anime fan.
You can't see it, but I'm giving you a disgraced look right now.
I assumed it was something along those lines. It was kind of fitting because in the silence I hear just like the humming of a car drive past.
I'm surprised you didn't. I'm gonna throw in the classic locust.
Some
cicadas.
crickets.
Yeah, I'll throw it in there. No, okay, so you don't know. Well, it's unfortunate because Ken360 was one of the rappers for Devilman Crybaby. So, a little tidbit for you. Anyways, yeah, that was really cool. I think the standout for me was actually episode the last of the bunch, which was episode 18, War of the Worlds. We got the graffiti mixed in.
Yeah.
That was a really fucking cool episode for me.
The whole thing was
16
cool.
and 17 were really cool. But 18 for me was like a definitely Champloo vibe. It
Yeah.
was really fucking sick. Yeah.
I dig it. It was different. It was different from the rest of the show because they were like the two brothers are they're battling each other, but it was by their own standards. They're going at it in graffiti art.
Right.
And lo and behold, who was the better graffiti artist?
Mugen. He didn't know how to read.
Yeah. The whole scene where he's learning with the sensei, like that teacher was a badass.
Yeah. Are you gonna be just some? I can't remember what he said, but dude, his speeches were on point.
Yeah.
And then at the end, when they finally get close to Fu, and she's like, "Oh boys," but in reality, it was just the little her pet. Like, oh, so cute. Yeah. Oh, that was such a cool scene. I really like that.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for like the tough guys and like into cute type shit.
Yeah.
That trope is really it's approved by me.
I mean, because that's basically you, bro. You tough guy, but you're a cat lover, dude.
Guy?
You a tough guy, bro.
Dude, hell yeah, I love the cat. Cats, baby.
But
and, yeah. Anything else? God, dude, I just looked right now. I need a fucking haircut.
Oh, you need that quarantine.
Everything's
haircut,
closed, dude. Everything's closed.
Dude, I've just started growing my hair out because I said fuck it.
I don't know if I can't, man.
Dude,
I was going for the undercut look. I wanted to. It was good, man, but now it's like it's hard to maintain without haircuts. So
do it yourself.
I just look like a freaking Neanderthal.
It's fucking caveman.
All right, so what about No Gun Life? No Guns Life.
No Guns Life. Dude, so I'm really loving the show. I don't know. How do you feel? Are you loving it too?
Yeah, I do. I switched back to God. These fucking cars, man. I switched back to dub these three. I think I'm gonna switch back and forth, and I really like it. Except I think I'm having an issue with. I don't know if it's the voice actor for the Tetsuo or the guy who has Harmony, or it's just the dialogue choice. You know, I was kind of like rolling my eyes a bit whenever he came on screen. He's like, no.
He's kind of whiny.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it's unfortunate that he's like 50% of the show, too.
Yeah, it's like, dude, give me just more of Izuo.
Yeah. But,
I want to see, man.
In these episodes, there was an episode, I feel like it might have been 5 maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but he goes to it's basically a barber for extended, and just that visual where they're sitting in a barber, he's sitting in a barber seat, and the guy's like basically just, instead of cutting his hair because he's got a gun head, of course, he's just cleaning him like you would an actual gun. And that was just, I don't know why, but I loved that visual.
I think for me that was a big turning point in the series, because I felt like we lost a bit of that kind of dystopic, like we had it throughout, like that really kind of thematic cyberpunk dystopia, until that brought it back in. Like the dude has got like some type of extended modification on his head, and he's cleaning Izuo with like the oil and then the swabs and everything. Like that's his cleanup, that's his barber cut. Like you said, that was really cool to see that. It really immersed me back into the whole atmosphere of that world. Yeah.
It was cool too. We also saw the actual extent of his power when his triggers finally pulled, and you're like, fuck, that's not just a gun, that's fucking weapon of mass destruction on his head.
That's what they meant when they were talking about him in the war and those overextended.
Yeah.
That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
We got like a little flashback from his like original partner, I think, and that's probably why he can't trust anyone, because maybe something happened to him. We don't know the full story yet, but a little bit of that. And then I think there was something else for me. Oh, we have the EMS, which is essentially like their FBI or their CIA agency. And then there was a time when the dude came out. I don't know what his name was, but he has like the. I'm like having my hands on the camera, like you can see what I'm doing, to try to explain better, but you can't. He's got the needles, the acupuncture needles.
Oh,
he's like
throwing them. The cop who's not extended. Ass? Yeah, not extended at all.
That guy's cool as fuck. Yeah, I like that guy. He's got the glasses. He's doing the pushing him up, like the glint.
Of course.
Can I do it right now? Moment. Ching. But yeah, that was cool. So it's nice that we're kind of picking up in the story, I feel like. Instead of like squabbles, we're now getting into the meat of the plot.
Yeah. I'm curious about, because at the end of episode 6, like it was starting to get into more on that, the guy who's full extended, the golden extended dude. Like, I just want to see more of that. Like a person who's 100% not human anymore. This is a cool concept. Like, what are you technically considered human still at that point if none of you is?
That brings up a good philosophical question. What makes humans humans? Is it the heart? Is it the conscience or the soul? Or the brain?
True.
And then the whole thought experiment, especially with like Elon Musk. If you transfer your consciousness to, say an overextended, fully automated system, are you? Would that designate the conscious as being you? And then like your body is just a shell, is a host, is no longer you?
Oh shit. I'm gonna need to fucking pontificate on this all weekend.
We had, and I was back in high school, I had this really cool college, Yavpai. One of the greatest instructors I ever had was my philosophy instructor, and dude, cowboy hat, cowboy clothes, man. One of the most brilliant people I know.
Really?
He brought up questions like this all the time. Yeah, it was really cool. And the best thing about it is they're called thought experiments because there's no right answer. Everybody's answer is going to be different to what they pertain to themselves, and you can argue it, and try to advocate for your opinion on the matter or your take on it. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's really, when you think about it, it's like, it's just fun to think about it, period.
Yeah. Let me tie this anime-wise then. Is Alphonse Elric human?
Well, because his consciousness was soul, right?
Yeah.
I would consider him, what's the human element? What makes a human human? That's when you get into that question.
It's true.
I'm hearing your voice and your thoughts, and I still consider you human, but I don't see your body. Now we're getting to okay, tune in next for another hour where we'll be talking about this one question, because I could get into that. No, this is it's a good point, and these are subjects brought into Go Figure anime. So it's kind of like we want to watch Akira. Now that we're here, we're gonna be watching Akira. So next week we have Yu Yu Hakusho, we're going to be covering the Dark Tournament. We have a guest who's coming on, and we'll be talking about that. And afterwards, we're going to be talking about Akira or Akira, whichever you want to pronounce it. And it's going to be a good time. We got some cool, good weeks lined up. So hopefully you stay tuned for those, my friends, my weebs, otakus. If you don't, I'm going to gatekeep you from our podcast.
We're going to become what we hate. What's that old adage?
Dude, I keep saying it. It's either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah, that's going to be
What was that? Oh, I just saw something so recently that was about that. Was it Apple? I think it was Apple. Yeah, Apple. There's been a controversy recently about Apple kicking Fortnite out of their app store or whatever. Yeah. And then also Apple suing a company because their icon was a pear and the leaf goes in the same direction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so someone, I was watching this YouTube guy, he was talking about how, in one of the first advertisements Apple run was in, 19, whatever, it was a promotion about how they're not like the mold and they break away and they're not 1984 controlling. But then here they are doing exactly that, like a super corporation, either die a villain or live long enough to become, or die a hero and live long enough to see yourself become the villain, baby.
Yeah. We tied it back. Good job, dude. You tied that adage into something real.
Yeah, that's what I do best, man.
Well played.
I may not be the smartest. I may be a smooth brain, but I think I can come up with some pretty slick things on the fly. And,
You might not be able to pronounce that one word. What were you saying?
Francs and Franks, man.
Not that, the one before it.
Agglomeration? I said...
You did.
Oh, shit. Wait, I did it again.
You did. That's not it, bro. And
agglomeration. That's the word. I'm inventing it. I'm submitting it into...
Amalgamation? No, it's
amalgamate.
You're
but I'm saying
shit.
To agglomerate, an amalgamation is the byproduct of things that were amalgamated.
If you're trying to acclimate an amalgamation, then you'll amalgamate. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. We got 2 minutes left, so I'm going to round it up here. I don't say... if you want to subscribe, go ahead. But I'm not going to force you, because you'll come back anyways.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. But we're on Monch. We're on Twitter at Monch_hours. Jay is Hi Rizza, or go ahead. What's your handle?
At Hi Rizza on Twitter.
And then Instagram at Monch_manga. By the way, I'm still in the lead with 80 likes.
Wow.
So,
hey, bro, your last one we should do averages because your last one was just a bust.
Well, dude, that's maybe next month we can do that, but the rules have been set. You'll be taking a shot actually at the end of the month, which is next week's, which is going to be, we'll just say for the Yu Yu Hakusho one, their guest is on. So you'll be taking a shot there, so prepare yourselves. Jordan's going to be doing for that one. I want to get a video on that if I can. Yeah, and then, you can find us on the podcast sites. Deezer is one I've never heard of, but we're pretty popular on there. Apple, Google, Spotify, now YouTube, Monch Hours. Here we are. And, thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate it every week. Can't believe we've been doing this for 16 weeks now. It's been fun. It's been a great experience, and we're happy to connect with you.
Yep, it's a good time, guys. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Tell John Carlo how to pronounce words because that's not his forte. And
he just says my name. I tell him all the time. He just keeps saying my full name, man.
Hey.
That's Joy. That's Jay, baby. He's spoiler king. He's the. I don't know. He gets lost in the jungle. He gets lost in his thoughts. Maybe 2 and 2 go together.
Hey, I didn't know you're trying to maintain a mask of just...
and anonymity. I'm going to mispronounce every single word. I have always had, dude. I mean, no, it's just... it's the internet.
Yeah, I hear you. Don't steal his identity.
Well, that's that for today. We'll catch you next time on the Monch Hours Podcast. Take care.
We out.
Thanks for watching. Till next time on Monch Hours.